Shakespearean verse. Shakespeare wrote his verse mostly in iambic pentameters. They sound difficult and academic, but all it means is 5 lots of di-dum, so that a standard line will go as follows: di-dum, 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 di-dum. If music be the food of love, play on. The last word gets a little extra choice by being the last stressed dum. There are 10 bits and 5 feet in the line. If there are more than 10 bits, and the last bit is a di making it 11 bits, then that means it has a feminine ending: di-dum, 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 di. I left no ring with her. What means this lady? The last word is a bit weakened by ending with the unstressed di. However, whatever you call them, iambic pentameters, or 5 di-dums, they are there to help you. To run lines on and ignore the poetry is to ignore one of the clearest clues given to an actor, for in poetry, the line endings make sure you choose the end words, and so gain extra information. The use of the verse has the remarkable effect of making the whole more natural and believable. It is not a question of making the verse naturalistic by avoiding it and jumbling all your lines together, but a question of using the verse to become more natural to your audience. The French language needs more letters than English does to express the same idea, as these famous lines from Twelfth Night show. English. If music be the food of love, play on. 28 letters. I left no ring with her. What means this lady? 35 letters. French. Si la musique est la pâture de l'amour, 30 letters. Jenri point lace de bague, tu atlen tit. 37 letters. So it will come as no surprise to find that the basic verse line in a French play is 12 di-dums, or an alexandrine. When Shakespeare wrote in poetry, he made each line more or less the same length. If a speech ends with a half line, and the next character starts his speech with a half line, that was Shakespeare's way of saying, pick up your cue, or do not leave a pause. If he put a half line in the middle of a speech, then he was instructing the actor to take a pause for some stage business. So in the middle of his speech, Macbeth has a half line. Macbeth, is this a dagger, which I see before me, the handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling, as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation, proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain? I see thee yet, in form as palpable, as this which now I draw. Thou marshalst me the way that I was going. This pause after the half-line, as this which now I draw, is necessary, as it will take him some time to get his sword out. And how did Arthur Miller get in here? Well, in the original one-act version of A View from the Bridge, quite a lot of the speeches for different characters were written in verse. In particular, Alfieri the lawyer has many speeches written in modern blank verse. In the two-act version of the play, there is some minor rewriting of the script, but the main difference is that the many bits of poetry are printed, word for word, as prose. Was this so the modern actor or reader would not be put off by the poetry? The layout is still there to help with those speeches for those willing enough to look up the first version and see what Arthur Miller originally intended as his instructions to his actors.